So, can Patrick Mahomes and the big red machine take it all the way back to the big time? Will Joe Burrow once again be the kryptonite for Kansas City's Superman? Will Brock Purdy finally shed the image of Mr. Irrelevant? And how healthy is going to be Jalen Hurts going up against the 49ers? Well, we're going to try to find the answers to those questions and a lot more as we get you ready for Championship Sunday. It's time once again for fantasy football fever starting right about now. Greetings, one and all. Welcome to another edition of Fantasy Football Fever. It is Friday night, January 27th, 2023. And we are on the cusp of Championship Sunday, the AFC and NFC Championships. 4 teams enter, but only 2 teams will make it to State Farm Stadium at Glendale, Arizona for Super Bowl LVII. My name, of course, is Tim McClellan. I think you all are familiar with these 2 guys over here. First of all, the host of Hooked on Sports, the one and only John Flynn. How are you doing, sir?
How are you doing, Tim? What's going on?
Not a whole lot much, man. We're just getting ready for Championship Sunday. I'm getting excited about this one. Getting closer and closer to the big game.
Yep.
And right down here is our league commissioner, the very capable Mr. John Natale. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well, other than having some soreness. Other than that, I'm pretty good. Must have been the way I slept or something. Yeah, ever get that soreness in the upper back? Like,
yeah.
If you end up in a bad sleeping position, not fun.
Yeah. I could relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to heal up. Took some icy hot. Got some ibuprofen. Healing up.
Hey, there you go. Well, for all of you watching us on YouTube and on Twitch, thank you for making us part of your week. We're going to get down to the nitty-gritty here. We got lots to talk about, but before we do that, we want to do a recap of how we got to this point. So we're going to go switch back over to the divisional rounds. I'll go ahead and share the screen for those who may have missed it here. Where's that tab? Here it is. That on there for y'all to check out.
Yep.
Somehow well, this first matchup, of course, started last Saturday. 20. I thought this match was about as close as I thought it would be. Leading passer Trevor Lawrence, he passed for 217 yards. Isaiah Pacheco for the Chiefs ran for a good 95. And, of course, Travis Kelce, probably the best tight end in the league, got 98 yards on this one here. So, Flynn, Natalie, anything you want to say about that particular game?
So, Travis Kelce was the reason the Chiefs won that game, honestly, because he had 14 receptions to go along with it and a couple of touchdowns. And also, another reason why the Chiefs won was the play calling of Andy Reid. So because after Patrick Mahomes suffered a high ankle sprain in the first half, Chad Henne came in and pinch hit in the second quarter, and they orchestrated a brilliant 90-plus yard touchdown drive, which really allowed the Chiefs to control the game into the second half of the game. But then Jackson, but Kansas City's defense was vulnerable, and they allowed Jacksonville opportunities to win the game. Yeah, in the fourth quarter and pull off another miraculous comeback, but yeah, you had the fumble in the fourth quarter, and then you had Trevor Lawrence throw an interception. Both of those turnovers happened in a three-play span, and you really can't turn the ball over at all when it comes to facing Patrick Mahomes, so or the Chiefs or Andy Reid for that matter. So if it wasn't for the turnovers, it would have been a closer game. Maybe one that goes into overtime, but I thought the better team won in that instance with Kansas City. So, but the big story going into Championship Sunday in the AFC is going to be the ankle of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with that up there. Natalie, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty intense game. There isn't too much really to add, but despite Jacksonville's loss, the future is definitely bright for them. Because the Texans are still god awful. The Colts are a mess, especially with Saturday still at the helm until further notice. And the Titans are questionable right now. Could go either way. I mean, it might be safe to say Jacksonville could potentially be early favorites for winning the division coming into next season. I think the future is looking bright for them. Yeah, they have very good weapons on the offensive side, and their defense has been quite good.
Yes, I'm looking to see Jacksonville be a big contender next year, but the Chiefs take this one 27-20. They will be heading on to the AFC Championship match. Meanwhile, the other game on Saturday, I know it stings for my boys here. The Philadelphia Eagles totally manhandled the New York Giants by a score of 38-7. Jalen Hurts passed for 154 yards. Kenneth Gainwell with 121 rushing yards. Devontae Smith with 61 receiving yards. So, yeah, I'm sure for you guys, this was pretty much a hard pill to swallow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jones was a bit sloppy. I mean, Barkley was, he could have been better. Everything was just all over the place. The defense was god awful. They left the Eagles receivers wide open. It was a huge mess. And on top of that, the Giants got a bunch of free agents they got to settle. Yeah, Barkley already turned down a $12 million contract. Yeah, Jones, and who knows who's coming back. Right now, it's a shaky situation right now. There's at least, I think, 4 or 5 free agents right now on that team.
I mean, a lot of them. When you look, I mean, you can take four. I think they have 6 free agent wide receivers alone, and it's not even including Saquon Barkley or Daniel Jones. But I mean, but I don't know if you noticed this or not, Natalie. But I noticed this in the second half. Saquon Barkley seemed a little bit slow, in the second half. That he. I sense that I don't know if he's ever gonna have regain the explosiveness that made him such an exciting player his rookie season. That his breakaway speed is not as high as it used to be, and you wonder aloud if, I mean, Saquon Barkley was a big reason the Giants made the playoffs, but you wonder aloud. $12 million to a running back. I mean, we know what happened with Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, I've been all over this for the last few years with his bad contract, but I don't know if he's worth. I don't know if he's worth $45 million over 3 years anymore. So I think there's a lot of questions. But the good news for the Giants is that they have a good amount of salary cap space, but next year they'll have even more the following year. So I think what the Giants have to do is they're going to have to build around Daniel Jones and give him give him a 3-year contract, and then draft an interior offensive line, draft a wide receiver, or even trade for a wide receiver, and then draft a running back in the late rounds, because I think that's how the Giants will be able to fix themselves offensively while remaining a contender. Because right now, if you look ahead to next year, right now as it stands right now, the Giants are not a playoff team.
Yeah, I did see a couple of mock drafts. I think the Giants are favored to land somebody named Jordan something. I forgot his name.
Yeah, but regardless, the Giants have a lot of roster holes, and I appreciate Joe Shane and Brian Dable recognizing that during their press conference. I think I think what the Giants need to do now is they have this surprising season with a new coach, likely going to be named Coach of the Year. But now it's up to the front office to bridge the talent gap between the Giants and the Eagles, because the talent gap between the two franchises is pretty wide, if you ask me.
Right.
Oh, very interesting there. Hello, Brandy. Haven't seen you in a while, girl. Wait a minute. Hold up. I just shared you guys out to Facebook and Twitter. Oh, thank you
you.
so
We really
much.
appreciate it.
Thank you for helping to spread the word on this show. Thank you. Mwah. My good friend Brandy, she does her unboxings and more. She has her own channel right there from her home in the great state of Oklahoma. Brandy, so good to see you again, girl. Tell your husband I said hello. All the best to you, girl. Thanks for spreading the word to us. We're spreading the word out there, girl. Oh, check this out. Much love and respect. Be still by being hard. Oh my gosh, that is so sweet. That is so sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, dear. Thank you, and thank you for everybody else watching us. That was on. So we just covered. She just wanted to share a milestone with us. That just reached my 300 goal.
Excellent.
300 subscribers. Congratulations.
Very
Congratulations,
nice.
Brandy.
Excellent.
All right, now it's time for you to hit. Now it's time for you to go to 400, girl. Hopefully you can make it there. So yeah. Thanks a lot, Brandy. I love you, gal. Take care of yourself, and we go to last day's match. First of all, the Cincinnati Bengals defeated the Buffalo Bills 27-10 behind 264 passing yards from Josh Allen, 105 yards from Joe Mixon, and Dawson Knox with 65 yards on this one. I kind of saw this one coming. I mean, like I've been saying for the last few weeks, Cincinnati Bengals were probably the most dangerous team in the AFC. So
you're
any
the only one
comments
of
on
the three of
that
us that got it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I was. So anything about this game stand out for you?
I mean, it was just the complete no-show from the from the Buffalo Bills, because Cincinnati went out there, set a tone early on that and the fact they got off to such a fast start, they were up 14-0. That made Ken Dorsey call plays he didn't want to have to call, and a lot of it had to do with It's with Josh Allen's inability to be trusted to protect the football, and also Cincinnati dominated the line of scrimmage. And did you see the way Cincinnati's offensive line played? I mean, but Buffalo's defensive line was a non-factor in this one. I mean if you would have told me Cincinnati's offensive line would survive the injuries to Jonah Williams and Alex Kappa, I totally would have picked Cincinnati to win that football game. But but you kind of have to wonder aloud. Josh Allen's contract extension kicks in next year. That means the salary cap isn't going to be particularly kind to Buffalo. So a lot on the plate for Brandon Beane. So a lot to digest this offseason.
I got you there. Natalie, anything on this game?
Yeah, I think this was one of the games I missed, unfortunately, because I was at work. But yeah, this game was basically a huge mess. Once they took the early lead, I kind of knew it was over. The Josh Allen just didn't have it. Defense left the receiver wide open. It was a huge mess. And it was snowing too, and it had to be so bad. And they,
Oh gosh.
you go your home field like a mess up. That's just insane.
Seems like I'm still having kind of a connection problems here. I think Natalie may have been frozen up on his screen there.
Yeah. I mean, I saw him move a little bit.
Yeah. So Cincinnati will.
I don't really have much. Oh, you have Tim.
Okay, well, Cincinnati. I guess, like I said, most interesting in the AFC, and boy, they really took care of a Buffalo Bills team that was pretty much on top from the beginning to end until that final game right there. And I kind of had this strange feeling that Cincinnati was going to pull off the upset, and boy, did they ever! So it's going to be Cincinnati traveling to Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Chiefs. We'll talk about that game a little bit, but right now. The San Francisco 49ers took down my Dallas Cowboys by a score of 19-12, thanks to soon to be no longer Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy with 214 passing yards. Elijah Mitchell led the way with 51 rushing yards, and the leading receiver for the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb, at 100 yards. Gosh, I kind of somehow knew that Dak Prescott was going to throw at least one interception, but two. I think I'm almost done with the guy. I mean, a lot of us Cowboys fans are probably wondering what would have happened if we decided to keep Cooper Rush as the starter, even when Dak Prescott got healthy. I mean, Cooper Rush started 5 games and he went 4-1, which is nothing to sneeze at. I don't think he threw that many interceptions in that 1.5 game span. But then Dak comes back and he proceeds to throw a total of 15 interceptions, 17 for the year. 17 interceptions for the year. That is 2 shy of the record that was held by Tony Romo. He had 19. I think it was 2012, I want to say. I'm not sure, but guys, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this one.
Yep. So you get paid $40 million a year. You cannot be the number one. You cannot be the number one reason your team loses that game, because because look, the Dallas defense played their butts off on Sunday. That I thought they played a wonderful game. And Dan Quinn, who by the way is going to be staying in Dallas for another year, a good work by him. The defense was awesome. I thought the offensive line was okay. I thought the receivers were okay, but I kind of wanted to allow the injury to Tony Pollard at the end of the first half. It changed the entire complexion of that game because Ezekiel Elliott was slow. In my mind, he wasn't able to pick up the steam for Tony Pollard, and the Cowboys had to rely on the arm of Dak Prescott, and they only scored one touchdown, and that was early on. They had to settle for a couple of Brent Maher field goals in the second half, but look, San Francisco was better coached. I mean, I don't think Mike McCarthy was bad in terms of managing the game, in terms of finding ways to in terms of finding ways to mess up the clock management. But Mike McCarthy deserves a lot of credit for getting this Cowboys team to 12 wins in two straight years, which is why I don't think he's the reason the Cowboys are bad. He's a tremendous coach, but Dak Prescott was never going to live up to his $40 million salary because he had the benefit of playing with such a talented group, and in terms of quarterback, receiver, running back. Oh, also. Where was Amari Cooper on Sunday, Tim?
Amari Cooper?
Yeah, where was Amari Cooper?
No, he's in Cleveland.
Oh, wait. Another side effect of the Cowboys messing up the salary cap. I mean, if the Cowboys did a better job managing the salary cap, they never would have had to trade Amari Cooper, and I thought he would have made a big difference in the game in those tough and clutch situations. So, I mean, so you can blame it on the Joneses for once again screwing up the salary cap. I mean, you can talk about Mike McCarthy and the clock management. You can look at the Dallas defense, unable to stop George Kittle. But the number one reason that the Cowboys lost that game was Dak Prescott. And which is unacceptable for a guy who gets paid $40 million a year. Oh, and by the way, Dak Prescott's girlfriend broke up with him this week, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah, I saw something on Facebook saying that she was not going to wait any longer for him. Now, would it be a rating? Y'all can tell what it's worth, but I kind of thought that was a little bit funny on that one. LC Muscles, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Thanks for watching me.
Yo.
Y'all, yeah, our man Lucas, one of my fellow horsemen, the four horsemen of Pick'ems. This Wednesday night, we got a best of show. So y'all tune in this Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, APizzle 90 channel, youtube.com/APIZZLE90, and you'll be able to watch our best of show for 2022. I think we got some great moments there. I think it's going to be very enjoyable. It's going to be so hilarious. I mean, I've had a wonderful time with those guys, and I think you're going to have a wonderful time watching too. So y'all tune in for that this coming Wednesday. Thanks, LC. Hey, stick around if you want to stick around, LC. After we make our picks for Championship Sunday, I'm going to do what I did last week. I'm going to open the floor. I'll be putting the link in the chat area right there. Anybody who wants to come in and sound off for Championship Sunday, you're welcome to do it. So that's what you got right there. Thank you, LC, my man. So once again, 49ers take down the Cowboys by a score of 19-7. 12. So that's basically what happened last week, but we're going to get to this coming week in just a moment. But right now, we have some interesting things to talk about right here. Just mentioned uh, the Cowboys not, and of course, is the fact they in Dallas as defensive coordinator, which in my opinion is a excellent decision. So, Flynn, what do you think about that?
I mean, it was the best decision for both parties. I mean, the Cowboys benefit from having a defensive wizard in Dan Quinn, and Dan Quinn benefits by not having to leave for an unattractive head coaching job. Because if you look at there are 4 remaining head coaching vacancies in the NFL, and I'm not sure if any of them are really that attractive. Because when you look at the organizational structures and how and the perceptions of the organizations. You look at the Cardinals, you look at the Denver Broncos, and there were reports this week that Sean Payton was not feeling the Broncos job because of a power struggle between him and one of his higher ups. You think of the Texans and you think of Cal McNair and how he has no idea what on earth he's doing. I mean, the Texans just had 2 coaches that went one and done, and so there's a lot of instability within the with the Texans, and then the Colts. I mean, the Colts are seriously thinking about bringing back Jeff Saturday as the head coach. I mean, if I would tell the Colts to fold the franchise and sell ice cream if they hire Jeff Saturday as the full-time coach. I mean, so good for Dan Quinn. Another year that the Cowboys are going to have an excellent defense, the defense that's going to be buttoned up, and then you've got it leaves the Cardinals. Maybe do they hire Brian Flores as their head coach now that Dan Quinn is out of the conversation? Do the Texans bring back a former fan favorite, D'Amico Ryans? So it looked. So if you were to tell me who the coaches are going to be for those guys, I think for those teams, I think Brian Flores and D'Amico Ryans sound like the path those franchises are going to go in.
All right, Natalie, Quinn staying with the Cowboys. Good decision.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, he's had some pretty recent success with them. He knows how to coach on all aspects of the field. He knows he knows more than his own job, so he's capable of doing anything. I think he's capable of doing offense, defense, head coach, assistant. Yeah, he could do it all. He's basically, I see him as like a jack of all trades, really. And if you put him to a task, he can do it. He's been known to carry his team to the playoffs, even though a lot of one and dones over the past few years.
I mean, he was the head coach that blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. So how do you explain how he helps manage games as a head coach?
Yeah, I mean, he has experience. I mean, it's kind of hard. It's hard to doubt the Patriots. I mean, they're kind of a different team. You can never count them out. But other than maybe that one faux pas, I think he's capable of doing it all. Maybe he's better suited as an assistant, but
yeah,
I think he's more like a jack of all trades. I see. He's like versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say he's a very versatile defensive-minded coach. Of course, he won Assistant Coach of the Year back in 2021. So I say he knows what he's doing. Also, this week, the Carolina Panthers have named their new head coach, and it's none other than former Colts coach Frank Reich. So, guess a good fit for him, Flynn?
Several Panthers fans will tell you, and Panthers fans in general will tell you, they wanted Steve Wilkes back as their head coach, and I think there's some logic to that, because after Matt Rule got fired after the Panthers 1-4 start, that Steve Wilkes helped turn them around and get them to a place where they were relevant in the playoff discussion in the NFC South until the last week, but. So it's in, but I think, but look, the Panthers I think have a strong, a young and strong defense, and I don't think the defense is the problem. The problem is the quarterback and getting that situated. So having Frank Reich, who is a really good offensive mind. He's a really good play caller. But. Yeah, I think the Colts failed him, because he was given different quarterbacks, because they tried to trade future assets to acquire things for the now. So if you're the Panthers, what I would do is put yourself in a position to draft a franchise quarterback for 2023, so you can have the coach and quarterback coming together. So I think if I'm the Panthers, that's what I would do. So I think there are fans that'll disagree with this hire, but I personally would have kept Steve Wilkes, but you can't complain if it's Frank Reich, especially coming from when he got fired by a franchise that just won't give him the requisite the requisite resources to win, and one of those is stability at the quarterback position, which he never had in his time with the Colts. I mean he was the coach when Andrew Luck retired. I mean he had the Jacoby Brissett experience, and then Phil Rivers, Carson Wentz, I mean, who he coached up brilliantly in Philadelphia during their Super Bowl season. So I think this is a good hire for the Panthers, and I like the fit too, given the state of the franchise.
All right. Natalia, you got any thoughts on Frank Reich being the new coach in Carolina?
Yeah, I guess right now it probably looks good on paper, but it remains to be seen, like, how he's going to coach them. How well will he work with his GM? That remains to be seen. And if the two can work well together and have a solid draft, the team could potentially be like the team in the early 2000s. They need that Jake Delhomme like quarterback from back in the day. Mm-hmm. And they do have I think Bryce Young, I believe, and what's his name, CJ Strauss. I think they're
but I don't think either one of them is going to be available when the Panthers draft. So
yeah, unlikely.
I mean, you still have Will Levis, Will Levis from Kentucky is the guy I'm pretty high on. So so I think maybe if he falls to Carolina, I think the Panthers are picking 9th in the draft this year.
Mm-hmm. The Colts will probably get that Bryce Young guy, from what I'm hearing.
I mean, the Colts are gonna have to trade up to get their quarterback, because you have the Texans in their own division
right.
who need a quarterback, and you got the Bears with the number 1 pick who don't need a quarterback, and they'll gladly trade down a couple of times to accumulate some great some draft prospects. So
right, yeah. Another rumor I heard though was the Bears could stay at number 1 and take that one of those defensive ends. I forgot his name.
Yeah, and so but right now there's no reason for the Bears to stay at 1.
Yeah, because they'll probably end up with the same guy anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, if the new coach and his GM work well together, they could potentially be a team just like in the early 2000s when they had Jake Delhomme and company.
Yeah, and also if you look at the state of the NFC South, obviously another instance where a team with the losing record won the division, but I mean if the Panthers can hit on the quarterback, not only are they in a great spot, but the other teams in the division have to deal with the fact that they have to face them twice a year in their own divisions. I mean that's exactly what's going on with the Texans and Colts because they don't want to because the thing they fear is the other team hits on the quarterback and you've got to face him twice a year. So
yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing to definitely think about. But I think maybe a change in the head coach will probably do the Panthers some good. We also had a coach to become new offensive coordinator.
Yeah, we had two of them.
We just mentioned his name right. Yeah, we had two of them that we were talking about it right at the pre-show meeting that we had here. What's the guy's name? Is it Mike something?
Mike LaFleur is the new offensive coordinator for the Rams, and I think it's a good hire. I mean, because he got dealt a bad hand with the Jets with Zach Wilson becoming a bust. So and now it goes back to working with another offensive oriented coach, McVay. I like that, and also another offensive coordinator hire, and this is quite interesting. Is that the Jets hired Nathaniel Hackett, Broncos one and done head coach as the offensive coordinator. So, take it for what it's worth, but
yeah.
So this is going to end in one of two ways for the Jets. One, they trade for Aaron Rodgers and they become a Super Bowl contender in the AFC, or they don't get Aaron Rodgers and everybody gets fired at the end of the year because of the lack of patience with Woody Johnson.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I think he's either gonna stay with the Packers or retire.
Yeah,
Oh, well. Hopefully those guys will do better with their new positions there. So, I guess that's all the hot topics that I know of. But of course, anything can happen in the NFL.
I kind of know one other one, but
anything can happen.
Yeah, I kind of know one other one, but it's like weird. It's this weird conspiracy thing. You guys probably heard of it, like the conspiracy thing that's driving me nuts about the Damar Hamlin or people saying that's not him. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're just attention seekers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just using somebody else's name for their own benefit. I don't like it. And by the way, we do send our best wishes to Damar Hamlin. He is still in his recovery process. He's recovering at home, so hopefully very soon he'll be back to 100% health.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just checking NFL.com, make sure we didn't miss anything. Doesn't appear that we did. I think we did cover everything. I checked NFL.com. I was going to check ESPN.com, make sure we didn't miss anything. I don't think we did though.
Yeah.
The only thing I see is that Travis Kelce is questionable.
Well, in that case, Travis Kelce questionable.
Yeah,
well,
he has an injury destination.
Anyway, we now have spread for the playoffs.
Yep.
And so far this year in the playoffs, straight up picks last week. Well, actually, it's 8-2 for Flynn and myself. 9-1 for the tally. Very well done.
Mm-hmm.
So for the season for our straight up picks, Flynn still has 181, 98-2. And then a tally has 179, 102. And then I'm in third place, straight up picks for the season with 177, 102, and 2. And so far in the playoffs against the spread, we are 6-4 We finished 6-4 after last week. All three of us going 6-4 against the spread so far in the playoffs, which means that for the season, Flynn 148, 126 and 7. I'm at 135, 139 and 7, and Mr. Natali at 130, 144 and 7. So those are our playoff picks so far, and for I guess right now let's go ahead and pop up the screen and let's go ahead and start talking about Championship Sunday.
Oh yeah.
And we begin in the city of brotherly love. Of course, there's no love lost as far as us Cowboys fans are concerned. I'm sure the Giants fans as well. We got the San Francisco 49ers heading into Lincoln Financial Field against those Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are picked by 2.5 points in this game. So let's go ahead and get things started. Flynn, kick us off if you would.
Yeah, I think that so this was a game where I was back and forth the entire week, but this is where I think I'm going to why I came to where I am for this and where I'm gonna lock it in here because if you look at what San Francisco has done and the things that they were able to do to win football games, especially in the second half of the season, and they were just dominant against so much of the competition. A lot of it was inferior though, but I think you look at San Francisco and the types of conditions they played in. I mean, you look at the crowd noise. They passed that test when they took down the Seahawks in Seattle. I think you look at and I love what Kyle Shanahan had to say about Christian McCaffrey and him playing with crowd noise and Seattle was that test. So give him credit for that. I mean, Brock Purdy has been well coached. He's been buttoned up. They've done a great job limiting the turnovers and the mistakes. And you look at the 49ers and the defense, which I think is going to be tremendous. I mean, you look at Fred Warner, you look at Nick Bosa, they are absolute megastars and rightfully so. I mean, you look at Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, you look at George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk. They have all been wonderful for Brock Purdy. So I think you look at that and look. Philadelphia is loaded on both sides of the football. You look at the offensive line. Look that allowed the running game to accumulate 268 yards of offense against the Giants, but the talent level from San Francisco is not the one you're getting from the Giants. I mean, the 49ers are 3 steps ahead, 4 or 5 steps ahead on the talent level when you compare them to the Giants. So it's going to be a much tougher environment for Philadelphia with a physical football team, and San Francisco showed how physical they are, but I think San Francisco is going to win this game with their offensive line and their surprising ground attack, and you look at Elijah Mitchell, who if you heard earlier had a lot of rushing yards last week. You look at Christian McCaffrey and his ability to run the football with power and speed. That was evident when he scored the 49ers' lone touchdown against Dallas last week. So I think San Francisco, and I love the coaching, but both sides of the football. I think San Francisco has the edge because I think they have the slightly better coach and the slightly better defense. So I'll take the San Francisco 49ers to go to their second Super Bowl in 4 years, and their 8th overall. The 49ers I have winning this game 27-24.
27 for 24. So Flynn is taking for those chickens. Natalie, how do you see this one?
Yeah, this one is a pretty close one. This is their first meeting since September 28th, 2021, where the Niners beat them 17-11. So we had a very defensive. It was a very defensive game there, and I think we're going to have a very defensive game here again. But these are two completely different teams from then to now. For on the Eagles side, you're looking at they're first in the league in both points per game and yards per game, and on the Niners side, they're first in points per game allowed and yardage allowed. So it's weird. You're looking at statistically the best offense versus statistically the best defense, which makes this really tough. And kind of both sides are equally advantaged, but they say defense wins games, so that's what it's going to come down to. Will the best offense beat the best defense, or will the best defense beat the best offense? And after crunching everything, I have the Niners winning this one. And yeah, I actually I wrote down my score earlier today before we went on the air, and oddly enough, it was actually the same exact score as Flynn's. And I wrote this earlier before we started recording. I have 27-24 as well. Give me the Niners to go to the Super Bowl.
All right, Tim. What do you got?
What was your score there, Natalie?
The same exact one as Flynn's, 27-24. And I swear, I wrote that earlier, but before Flynn said it. I wrote it earlier before we went on the air.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I sent my score to Tim earlier because I didn't think I was going to be on tonight, and I was walking home from work, and I was wondering, do I change my pick? I mean, I'm just going to keep it there. I'm going to stick it and lock it in. So obviously I'm blind to what both of you guys are as you were to same thing on vice versa.
Now, yeah, this is weird. If Tim says the same exact thing, this is going to be insane. Can you imagine the three of us having the same exact score? But let's see. Let's let Tim talk.
Yeah, this is pretty amazing, guys. I agree with everything you said. I mean, Philadelphia has just been great, but there's a reason why the 49ers have won 12 games in a row all the way back to the regular season. I mean, this Brock Purdy has just come out of nowhere, and he has really sparkled in this for this team here. He is just making everyone around him so much better. I see Jimmy Garoppolo playing wearing a different uniform next year. And maybe, of course, the 49ers probably should keep Trey Lance. But this... Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
Something in the air going on right here. Yeah, I think there is something in the air because this is unbelievable. I'm going 49ers over Eagles. I wrote this score last. I wrote this score Wednesday night. I was doing the full horse. Final score is 49ers 27-24.
Oh, jeez. I think now this will be a good time to open up the forum, see if anybody feels the same.
Yeah.
Open up the forum. Yeah, I guess we could do that. I mean, it's just the first game, but hey, we can go ahead and open up the forum. We got someone here say, Dashy, my man.
Mm-hmm.
Big time, buddy. He is Bengals fan. He is yeah, I think we need to go ahead and open up this forum. Because Dash G, his Bengals are heading into Kansas City, taking on the Chiefs there. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up a forum. Here we go. Where is it? There is it. There. I could go ahead and highlight this thing here. Any of y'all watching out there? I know Dash, you are. This is the link that you need to do if you want to chip Sunday. And I see Flynn there. I mean, he looks like he's still in disbelief because we have all picked the 49ers and all picked the same final score. I mean,
Wow.
you would have to have at least 7 of the 9 planets aligned perfectly for something like that to happen. So
wouldn't it be something if we have the same exact picks for this game too?
Wild, but wow.
Wouldn't it be something if we have the same exact
folks,
one for
there's
this
your
one too?
link right there. Jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I already know what happened. I saw the show, so I know what happened. I already know.
Yeah, I know what happened.
I watched the show after I submitted my picks.
There's the link, folks. Come on in. Right. So while we go ahead and put up the stream there or the link to join the show, let's go ahead and talk about the AFC Championship. That's going to be 5:30 Eastern on CBS. We got Dashy's Buffalo Bills taking
Bengals.
on the Kansas City Chiefs, who are in their 5th straight.
Hold on. Start that again, please.
The Chiefs.
There we go. Yeah, in the beginning you said Dashy's Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. Oh. He's probably going to kill me for that. I mean, there's just some cases where my brain just goes further ahead than my mouth. So forgive me, Dashy. Dashy's not a Bills fan. He is a Bengals fan, ladies and gentlemen. Bengals fan, tried and true. The Bengals are heading into Arrowhead. Chiefs are only 1.5 point favorites in this game. So history has told us that in his career against the Bengals, he has played. Patrick Mahomes has played in 3 games against the Bengals, and he has lost every single one of them. Flynn, does that trend continue?
I mean, the trend I was looking at was what the spread was going to be for this game and the spread we were going to play with. So the Cincinnati was 2.5 point favorites earlier this week, but then it changed. The momentum shifted towards Kansas City because Mahomes practiced this week, so which I think is a big deal. But I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win this game, Tim. I think the Bengals have something going on. I think the way the Bengals were able to play the ball on both sides of the football, I thought it was tremendous, and they've been playing at a high level throughout the entire course of their winning streak that dates all the way back to the beginning of November, which I think is remarkable when you look at the scope of the so when you look at the scope of the AFC and all that, but I think this is a team where Patrick Mahomes is not 100% healthy, but look, the last time Mahomes played out the week after high ankle sprain was against the Raiders but where he threw for 443 yards and 4 touchdowns that following week. But they're not facing the defense as poor as that Raiders defense. They're playing a well-coached Cincinnati Bengals defense coached by Lou Anarumo. And I think this is going to be a game where the Bengals can go into Kansas City. I think you look at the running game of Joe Mixon. You look at the wide receivers. You look at T. Higgins. You look at Jamar Chase. You look at Tyler Boyd. You look at Hayden Hurst catching passes in the middle of the field. So I think if you factor that in, you factor in the defense. Zach Taylor deserves a lot of credit. I know. We talked a lot about his job security a couple of years ago. Now, he was a McVay assistant, so of course, he turned this team into magic. So I'll take the Bengals to win this game and go right back to the Super Bowl, and I have the Bengals winning this game by a score of 34-31.
Interesting. 34-31. So Flynn is going with the Bengals. Tally, how do you see this game?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. We have a rematch of the last year's championship where December, and then actually no, this is their fourth meeting all time. In the last meeting, the Bengals won 27-24 on December 3rd. But both teams are gonna play very differently. Both teams have a mentality here. Both of them are going to be studying film, find out what went right, what went wrong. But Joe Burrow's been having a great season so far. Yeah, Mahomes, he's Patrick Mahomes like he always is. Plays extraordinarily well. And on the quarterback side, I probably want to give maybe the very slightest of advantages to Mahomes. On the running back side, I'm going to give the slight edge to the Bengals. And then when you look at the wide receiving core, it's a very, very close one. But I think they have the Bengals have the healthier receivers right now, so I'm going to give the edge to them. Looking at the tight end side, you got Travis Kelce versus Hayden Hurst. Both of them are dealing with injuries right now. They're both questionable to play. But if I'm taking that at face value right now, I got to give the advantage to Kansas City over there because I think Kelce's by far the better player. It's really going to come down to the defense. So it's going to be a matter of who shows up more. After weighing everything out, I think this is going to be a huge battle till the end. I see this game going into overtime. So I think that's how it's going to go. I think the Bengals are going to kick a game-tying field goal to send the game into overtime. And then in overtime, after weighing everything out, I think this is the day Mahomes gets the monkey off his back. He's not going to lose 4 times. I just don't see that happening. Give me Patrick Mahomes to get his revenge, 38-35 in overtime. Chiefs win at home.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. The tally going with the Chiefs, 38-35 in overtime. Now my turn. Wow, this is interesting. So we got one for the Bengals and one for the Chiefs. This was a really, really difficult call, but I had to look at everything from both sides of the field, offensive ends. And I have to give a slight edge to the most dangerous team in the AFC. It's Cincinnati Bengals. Dashy, I know you're going to be happy when I say this. I'm going with the I'd say last 5 minutes of the game, Bengals will get a go-ahead field goal, and their defense will probably hold Patrick Mahomes in check. And once again, the kryptonite will dominate Superman. I've got the Bengals winning this one by a score of 30-27. Guess that means that it's going to be me and Flynn going with Bengals. Natalia's riding with the Chiefs. And with the other game, we all have the 49ers winning by the same damn score, 27-24. That is still unbelievable how that worked out, right? So, you people have heard what we have to say. We want to know what you have to say. Let me put that link up again so y'all can join this show and give us your picks on this games here. Link's coming up here. Where is it? Come on. Let's get up there. The link's up there. It should be up there. There's our, if you want to join the show, copy that link, put it in your browser, and you can to let you know what you think of our games. And as a matter of fact, we have our first guest already ready to join us here. Go ahead and click this one here. I'm sorry, I'm having those connection problems again, but let me go ahead and add him right here. He's just going to be going ape over this game right here with his Bengals going into Kansas City. And he taking on those Chiefs. It's get him on the camera here.
What's going on, you guys?
Dashy, can you hear us? What's up?
I can hear not much. So the first game I'm gonna get out of the way is the NFC Championship
Trying to get him on the
game, which
screen here.
are favored by 2.5. Here's the thing: Eagles lead the league in sacks.
Dashy, are you there?
I'm here.
Well, we know he's here, but we just can't hear him or we can't see him.
I can hear him.
I hear him fine.
We know he's here. And I've got a lot to say about his boys.
I'll get to my team in a little bit. So, but I'll be right back. Hold on.
I'm not getting them. I'm not getting them on my end. Guess this jumped out. Well, Dashy, try to jump back in soon. Because we'd love to hear you defend boys. Because, like I said, our Chiefs and Sally is going to actually Flynn and I are with the Bengals. Natalia's with the Chiefs. Dash you back in here. Page not responsive. All right. You know, folks, this interesting. First few years had all these connection problems. Then through the season, now I got them. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so it looks like Tim has connection problems again.
Yeah. It sounded fine in the very beginning, but you know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but
Yeah. I was just looking at the expert predictions on here for most of them have the Bengals. It looks like the NFL analysts.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Adam Rank picked the Bengals.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like both teams have well balanced are balanced in terms of roster comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So let's see. We have him now. It's our man Dashy, the big Bengals fan. What's up, bud?
Not much. I'm pretty sure I can hear you. You can hear me now, right, Tam?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Got you loud.
All right. So the first game was I was at the NFC Championship game where the Eagles are favored by 2.5. To me, this is one team best in the league in sacks going up against a team that protects the quarterback well. Number one offense, number one defense. I believe this game could go either way, but I'm pulling the triggers and calling this my upset special of the week because I do not think the Eagles will win. I'm sorry, Eagles fans, but this is where your season ends. Give me the 49ers to go into Philadelphia and upset the Eagles the second season in a row as they go to Super Bowl 57. Now, I got a lot of say for my game because I know the Chiefs are favored by 1.5. I was on Twitter earlier today. I saw the injury report for both teams. 3 of the players are questionable for the Chiefs. They are Travis Kelce with a back injury, Jetson Watson, I think he'll play because he had an illness, and McCall Harmon with a pelvis injury. Harmon was the only one limited all week. I talked with LC earlier today on my Facebook group chat. He believes it will take a week or two for the pelvis injury to recover. So in order for us to win this game, you got to pressure Mahomes and blitz him. Take away his number one target, and you will win this game. In the end, I got the Bengals winning. I think we'll prove the world once again why we're better than we were last year. And the Chiefs have got to play us. And we'll do just that. Give me the Bengals to beat the Chiefs. 27-24, my point spread game of the week.
Yeah, and the Bengals offensive line answered a lot of questions to everybody last week.
Yeah, the question was, can we protect Burrow?
Yeah,
in the snow. The answer to that was yes.
Yeah, a resounding yes.
The question is, can we win 2 games in a row in the snow? And can we? And I also was on Twitter. Trey Flowers was practicing. He's Pat Mahomes' kryptonite. So, yeah, I'm going to the Bengals. That's why I'm picking the Bengals to beat the Chiefs this week. 27-24.
All right. So we got Dashy with the Niners and, of course, the Bengals. So I guess so I'm going to guess best of luck to your team, Dashy. Bengals, they look very, very dangerous, as I've said last few weeks. So,
Yep.
So thanks for coming on the show, buddy.
Appreciate it. Oh.
Yep. Well, there's Dashy with his picks. So,
yeah, 27-24 is very popular today.
There's anyone out there? Yeah, I guess it is. I don't know if anyone else is out there to make the picks, but you can go ahead and make your picks in the comment section below. If if you're not able to join us, make your picks down there in the comment section. Let us know what you people think about these games here. So right now, gentlemen, was 10:34 where I am, which would be it's 11:34 over on the East Coast.
Yep.
And of course 8:34 on the West Coast. And I got work early tomorrow, so I may have to just go ahead and I may have to go and wrap up this show. But please, folks, leave some comments. Tell us what you think will be going on Championship Sunday. And of course, while you do that, be sure to click on the links, any one of the 3 links in the description area, so you can listen to John Natale and Hooked on Sports. Don't forget about that.
You mean John Flynn?
Yeah.
You said my name.
Oh, there I go again. We both have guys named John, and I get it confused again. So
Yeah,
it's
no worries.
John. Yeah, it's John Flynn, Hooked on Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget that. Don't forget. Click on one of those links, and you'll go straight to him. So, anything you guys want to say before we wrap up the show?
Yeah, I'm just making sure that there's no breaking news that came at the last minute. There doesn't appear to be any. Just that Hayden Hurst is confirmed to play now.
Yep. That's what I got on my end.
Yeah. And Reed confirms Mahomes will start versus the Bengals.
Yep.
Other than that, I guess we won't be meeting. We're not meeting next week because it's the Pro Bowl. So I anticipate 2 Fridays from tonight, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, we can take a little break. I think we deserve a good break until Super Bowl. So we'll talk about.
Yeah.
We'll talk
the Pro Bowl
about.
Looks interesting. Although it looks kind of cool, I'll give it a shot.
It's not going to be like the old Pro Bowls that we remember from back in the old days. They're going to have I think they have a flag football game. They have like skills competitions.
Yeah, that's I think 3 days before. I think it's on Thursday, I believe. They're going to play dodgeball too.
I wonder if they'll have anything like I don't know if you guys remember, if you're old enough to remember the EA Sports NFL quarterback challenge that they used to have every year. I wonder if they'd have something like that.
I think I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, the only problem was I never knew it was on TV until I just flipped the channels and there it was.
Yeah, talk about like when the quarterbacks throw a football like through a hole, right? Something like that.
Yeah, it was like different skills competitions for quarterbacks,
Right.
So it was a pretty cool thing. Maybe they'll have something like that at the Pro Bowl this year.
Oh yeah.
Which of course, by the way, is in Las Vegas this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we'll take a break. We'll reconvene 2 weeks from tonight. We'll talk about NFL honors, which of course will be on the Thursday, right before we get back on the air 2 weeks from tonight. Talk about NFL honors, and of course we'll talk about Super Bowl 57. So I guess that could be our show for next time. So on behalf of everyone here, John Flynn, John Natale, our technical director, Irene Namer, wherever she is, we love you. Thank you for your helping us put this thing together here. So y'all be sure to make your comments below. Who do you think is going to go to Super Bowl 57? Write your comments down in the comment section, and we will see you 2 weeks from tonight for our big Super Bowl preview. We'll talk NHL honors, or NFL honors, actually.
Mm-hmm.
NHL. So for John Flynn, John Lane, everyone associated with this show. I'm Tim McClellan. Thanks for joining us. Hope you guys enjoy the games. God bless. We love you all. And as always, remember, be a good sport. See ya.